Now I know my last tier list video wasn't very popular where I ranked the Pokemon games, but despite that, I feel that it would be good for me to share this out there since I don't have an account on this site, so you can't just save it. So I am once again on tiermaker.com, and this is my Pokemon Conquest tier list of the Pokemon. And I pre-ranked them because there's quite a few Pokemon in here. For some, Bidoof and Beedrill here are not ranked because they're in here twice, apparently, by the person who created this. But, huge shout out to WolfMasterArf1 on Twitter. Okay, so the top tier Pokemon I have are Volcarona, Mewtwo, Rayquaza, and Arceus. Mewtwo, Rayquaza, and Arceus all have very good moves, very good partners because they're exclusive, and have really incredible stats in this game. Volcarona is up there with them because Fiery Dance is such a great move, and the fact that Volcarona is the perfect link Pokemon of Okuni from Spectra really makes Volcarona so great because Fiery Dance is a very good chance to raise your stat or your attack every time you use it, and it hits 4 spaces, which is really nice because you can hit 4 your enemies with a very powerful Pokemon, and Fire is just a very good type in this game. Okay, next on, moving on to the very good tier, I have Articuno with Ice, who has like Icy Wind or something. Articuno's very good, but not quite as good as these. Same with Registeel, Groudon. Registeel, I believe, has Flash Cannon. I haven't quite used all the Pokemon in here yet. I've yet to use Articuno, Registeel, and I haven't used Zekrom or Rayquaza, but I've seen them because they're both against you in the main story. And Toxicroak, I think, are it. Oh, and Terrakion. But yeah, I believe that's it for Pokemon I haven't used. These two have very good moves along with very good stats. They're just not quite as good as these Pokemon. Groudon's got a pretty good move, but it's got a really good move and absolutely incredible stats. However, its range is only 2. So, while it's a huge upgrade of Shingen's regular Pokemon of Rhyperior, and Shingen plus Kenshin, who gets Mewtwo, their warrior skills, once they have transformed in the post-game, are absolutely incredible. Because Kenshin raises your attack and your range by 1, and Shingen raises your attack and defense by 1, I believe. And when you can use those together because you can stack any stat up to 2, and then your attack will be raised by 2, your range will be raised by 1, and your defense will be raised by 1 for a turn. Hydreigon is the best non-legendary dragon type in this game because it's got like Dragon Pulse, Rare, and low accuracy Dragon Rush. Chandelure and Infernape both are very good Pokemon with Fire Spin, which is really good in this game. It's really bad in like main games, but they're very good in this game. Or it's a very good move in this game, and combined with them, the fact that Canby and Hiyoshi have them, it really works together. Because like you could pretty much perfectly defend a kingdom like say Pugilis with just one of them, due to the fact it can just continuously knock them off due to how small the battlefield it is. However, it's also a disadvantage to be hitting so many spaces because you're more likely to hit your allies. And with Fire Spin, if you miss even one of the Pokemon, it just stops. Darmanitan has Fire Blast. Darmanitan is up here above like Emboar because Darmanitan has a higher range and is about the same in stats, I believe, but it is weak to Rock as well, but is not weak to Psychic and Flying because Emboar is part Fighting type. Reshiram and Zekrom are also absolutely incredible. These two tiers are just like the best Pokemon in this game, for sure. This tier is also full of very good Pokemon. I have Lapras here with Ice Beam, which is pretty good. Dragonite has Dragon Rush, which is... It's not a great move, but Dragonite's a very good Pokemon. I believe Dragonite has only 2 range 2 though. So Dragonite's kind of slow, but Dragon Rush also is a move that kind of propels you forward. So if you have like a Steel type that resists Dragon, you could, and is really bulky, like say Bastiodon or something, you could be, although Bastiodon's also very low range. Like say you have a faster steel type, Metagross, you could use Dragon Rush on your own Pokemon. It'll be resisted and I'll help you move forward, making your range not a big deal. Machamp is definitely the best non-legendary fighting type in this game because Cross Chop is such a good move with the squares it hits, similar to like X-Scissor. And Machamp's got incredible physical attack physical and special don't really exist in Pokemon Conquest, it's just attack. Tyranitar, Stone Edge, very good move, but not the best accuracy. Gengar, Shadow Ball. Gengar has incredible speed, which makes it so his moves like almost always hit. Hanzo, the guy with who usually has the Spiritomb in Vaporeon, has it as perfect link, and it's served me well because it can float with Levitate, so it can like fly up cliffs, and it's immune to ground type, which is one of its weaknesses. And Gengar's a powerful Pokemon, but Shadow Ball only hits one space at a time. You don't want to hit too many spaces around you because that could cause a downside in certain battlefields. However, you don't want to hit just one space either, which is why Gengar is not in the very good tier. Spiritomb is here because though Shadow Sneak is basically a weaker version of that, with Interference as its ability, it lowers the accuracy of opponents who get close to it. And it's also got no weaknesses in this game since Fairy type has yet to come out. Spiritomb is an incredible Pokemon in this game. I would highly recommend it. Garchomp also has Dragon Rush, similar to Dragonite. I think they're about the same in how good they are. Usually in the main competitive, Garchomp's a bit better. However, this is a side game, so it's very different, and I think they're about the same here. Excadrill is a very powerful Pokemon, and it has one of the best ground type moves in the game, along with a decent range and the defensive steel type, which makes Excadrill very good. Drill Run, I believe, is a move, and it's not exactly the best move, but it works really well enough to make Excadrill an ideal Pokemon in the speedrun strat. Okay, this video is probably going to be very long because I'm going in depth a bit, but if you guys are watching a tier, you should be used for that. Scolipede with Venoshock, very good Pokemon, but it's weak to like Fire, Rock, Psychic. That's quite a few, but it's a very good Pokemon still. Crocodile has like Crunch or Foul Play or something, I don't really remember. It's a signature Pokemon of Masanori, which is not the greatest, because his warrior skill isn't that helpful, but Crocodile is still a powerful Pokemon. Scyther and Scyther is Fury Cutter, which does more damage every time, and Scyther's Flying type, so it's immune to ground. Scizor has a greater weakness to fire, but Steel is a very good defensive type as well, and they have the same base stat total in the main games. I'm pretty sure they have like the same stats, maybe very differently between like speed and defense. Scyther with more speed and Scizor with more defense. I'd say Scizor is a tiny bit better than Scyther because of X-Scissor rather than Fury Cutter. However, well, actually that's hard to say because Scyther flies, which is very good. Fury Cutter is pretty good. X-Scissor hits her allies more often, but Scizor is better defensively. I'd say they're about the same, honestly. Zoroark is very good because Night Daze hits 4 spaces, I believe the ones directly next to you. It has a chance to lower your opponent's accuracy if it hits them, which is incredible. It just makes the battle get more difficult for them as time goes on. So if you pair that with, say, Volcarona raising its attack, and with Kenshin and Kenshin and Shingen raising your other stats, that would really make it a very easy battle for you, where you lower your opponent's stats while you raise your own. Haxorus is a very good Pokemon in this game. I'd say it's the best dragon that's not a legendary after Hydreigon, because it's got a much better move than Dragon Rush. I don't remember exactly what it was. Was it Dragon Tail or something? But it's better than Dragon Rush with its low accuracy. Bisharp, another solid Pokemon, very good defensive typing with Dark and Psychic, or Dark and Steel, because it's immune to Psychic, resists Dark, and Steel resists a ton of things. So Bisharp, very good Pokemon. Don't put it up against any fighting types, but very good. Dialga is a bit low for a legendary, you might think, and so is Terrakion. But Terrakia's got lower stats than the other legendaries. Terrakion could probably be up in this tier, but I put him in here for now. And Dialga's Roar of Time, very powerful move, but Dragon's not really super effective on anything except for Dragon. Dragon Steel is very good defensively because Dragon and Steel both resist an absolute ton of types. However, Roar of Time makes you unable to move every other turn, so it's not the greatest. Alakazam and Gardevoir have Psychic, very good Psychic type move. However, Psychic's not necessarily like the best type in this game. It's incredible still, of course, but it would be but there's not as many like poison types as there are dark types, really, because dark types are very significant in this game. Ghost types are pretty popular, steel types are pretty popular. It really reduces the value of having a Psychic type. However, Psychic is always an absolutely incredible type. Gyarados is very good in this game. Aqua Tail is such a good move. It has a pretty decent chance to miss. However, if it's based on speed and you're outspeeding them, you should be hitting really hard with Gyarados' monstrous physical attack. And Gyarados is a flying type, technically, so Gyarados can float, which means Gyarados can also climb up to high places. Crobat, very good flying type, flying poison type. Cross Poison, very good move. Crobat hits pretty hard, very good at main Pokemon for Neen. Next up, we have the B tier. This is where things start to go downhill a lot. Like, A tier and above, I'd highly recommend, like, in almost any situation. I'm just gonna have a bit of water quickly. Now on to the B tier. Kadabra is basically a worse version of Alakazam. Well, no. Yeah, slightly. Alakazam hits, like, 4 spaces ahead of it in a kind of diamond shape. Kadabra hits the 3 spaces directly in front of it with Psybeam, which is quite powerful. I believe it has a chance to confuse. I'm not certain about that, so don't quote me on that. Quote me on that in the comments if you want. Whatever, I don't really care. Kadabra's still very good. Like, it was a threat in Generation 1 competitive because it wasn't that much worse than Alakazam, and Psychic was so OP then. Kadabra is a very good Pokemon. Beedrill with Twinio. See, this tier list isn't really based on how early or late in the game you get them. Beedrill is kind of good at the... Beedrill is very good at the start, kind of good in the middle, not the worst at the near the end. Twin Needle is a very good move with the chance to poison, hitting 2 times Bug. One of the better Bug type moves, I'd say. Beedrill, not the greatest Pokemon, but it's a lot better than it would actually be in the main games. Arbok with Venoshock. Arbok's not the greatest, but Arbok is pretty good here, too. Not much to say about Arbok in my opinion. It's fine. I'm moving Empoleon up because Empoleon's with Hydro Pump, very good. And I'm moving Empoleon back down because these Pokemon were kind of moved up, kind of, in a way. Okay, Snorlax. Snorlax is a very good Pokemon as per usual. However, its move Body Slam is kind of bad in this game, along with its terrible range. I am not a fan of using Snorlax in this game. I wouldn't oppose it if you're like defending a kingdom with banners or something. Just put Snorlax on a banner. Snorlax will do a pretty good job. And have like maybe one Pokemon to not go away in case it falls into a trap when it uses Body Slam or something. Or if it gets knocked out with like a fighting type move maybe. And Snorlax is pretty good, but not that great. Dragonair, Dragon Tail, very good because it knocks back 3 spaces. Dragon's still not the best offensive typing, but it's a very good defensive typing. I think Dragonair is a fine Pokemon. Ampharos, Thunder is not very great, which is why Ampharos is ranked down here. And it's got a very good like stats and ability, and a pretty good ability, but it's down here because of that reason. Aggron is much the same thing as Dragonair, except Irontail has a bit lower accuracy, and Aggron's a bit better, I'd say, but not in range. Aggron's a powerful Pokemon, very good, but it's not the best. Armaldo, I believe it has X-Scissor or something, or Fear. It either has X-Scissor or Fear. No, it definitely has X-Scissor because it's pre-evolution and it has Fury Cutter. So Armaldo's pretty good. I think Armaldo is very good, but I can't really justify putting it above most of the Pokemon in this tier. However, or up with these Pokemon. Glalie has Ice Beam, which is a very good move, and Glalie's not got bad range. However, Glalie's stats are not the most, don't really stand out in any way. Walrein has very good like offensive power, terrible speed, but Blizzard is not the greatest move to combine with terrible speed due to how low your accuracy is going to be, because speed is, as I've continuously said in this video and through my Pokemon Conquest series on my channel, speed is based on accuracy is based on speed. Metagross, a very good Pokemon. Metagross I'm kind of considering moving up a tier. However, yeah, I'm moving Metagross up. Meteor Mash, because Meteor Mash knocks back the opponent a bit. It only hits one square. However, it's a Metagross hitting and has a chance to raise its attack. Metagross is a very good Pokemon, but you have to be careful with it because of its... Well, it has a good defensive type. Fire is very common, and fire types are very powerful in this game. I'd be very careful with using Metagross. Empoleon, I considered moving up earlier, but Hydro Pump, very good move. Not the greatest accuracy. Empoleon's not... It's kind of... It's not very difficult to rank because it really fits with all these Pokemon, but it's not, like, outstanding. That's kind of hard to explain, but it's not difficult to rank with these Pokemon. Beedrill up next. Very surprisingly good Pokemon. Hyper Feint is pretty powerful in this game. With normal water typing, its only weakness are electric, grass, and fighting. So, Hyper Feint's... I mean, Hyper Feint's not the best move, but Beedrill is pretty powerful and not that hard to get in the early game. And I wouldn't say it's that bad later in the game either. Haunter I put up here because of its Levitate, and its move is like Hex, I believe. Haunter hits pretty hard. It's kind of like a worse Gengar, similar to how Gotharia's a worse Alakazam, maybe. But Haunter is more worse to Gengar than Kadabra is to Alakazam, I would say. Well, no, Haunter's pretty good. Because Hex, if your opponent's statused, it will do double damage, which makes it pretty good along with its decent range and other stuff. Steelix, very bad range, pretty bad move, but pretty good Pokemon. Irontail hits and knocks back, but it's got a pretty good defensive typing, being immune to electric and resisting a ton of types of steel. Steelix is a good Pokemon, but not absolutely outstanding in this game. Luxray, pretty much the same thing as Ampharos. Thunder, pretty bad move, except Luxray's not quite as fast as Ampharos, I don't think. But Luxray is also pretty powerful and decently bulky. Luxray is a very cool Pokemon, but it's not the best. Drifblim is a good ghost type if you want bulk. Not sure. Usually, most ghost types are not very bulky, but Drifblim makes it work and has flying type, which makes it immune to ground, which is a very good offensive type. So Drifblim is pretty good, and it's due to its massive HP, it's got a very high power, which makes opponents not want to attack you as much in the post game. Mismagius, pretty good. Shadow Ball is not the best, and it's essentially a downgrade Gengar again, because like Mismagius is a bit worse, and it doesn't have the I'm not exactly sure, but Mismagius, actually no, I'm gonna move these two both up because Gengar's up here. These two should be up here as well. They're both very powerful ghosts. They're all very powerful ghost types. Ghost is a pretty good type because it's immune to both normal and fighting. Drapion, pretty good. I believe it has, I'm 99% sure it has Cross Poison. Pretty good move. Drapion's decently powerful, but not absolutely outstanding. Toxicroak, I believe it has Poison Gem. I don't remember exactly what Toxicroak has, but it is an exclusive move. No, it can't have Poison Gem. Kroger says that. I don't remember exactly what Toxicroak has, as I'm saying. However, I know Toxicroak has a signature move, and it's very good. And it's a very good Pokemon. Carnivine, surprisingly good in this game. Very good in the early game. Pretty decent and holds its own in the late game. Carnivine's a very good grass typing. Grass type kind of sucks in this game, but Carnivine is one of the better ones, I'd say. Weavile, very good attack and speed. However, it's very frail. Frostless has better speed than Glalie, but is slightly less bulky. However, Frostless has Icy Wind, which slows the opponent down. which is pretty useful because it hits 3 like across horizontally in front of it rather than vertically on the map, at least, as it would appear. Although I suppose that would also depend on what angle you're looking at. But Frostlass is a good Pokemon with Ghost typing to make it immune to the fighting type that it would otherwise have been weak to, which makes Frostlass pretty good. Samurott, Aquatail. Samurott is not great, but it's not horrible. Samurott's with Aquatail. Water type is a very good type, but Samurott's not. When I'm playing through like Hideyoshi's story or something in the post game, and I'm using Moto Chica, his Samurott kinda tends to get a bit left behind because of how long it takes to evolve, and how it's still not even that incredible as Samurott. Gigalith, Stone Edge. Gigalith is very good. I would say Gigalith is one of the better Pokemon in the B tier, but I don't think it's worth the A tier. Conkeldurr would definitely be in very good if it weren't for the fact that Superpower lowers your attack and your defense. Conkeldurr with Superpower and Thrust, it knocks your opponent back pretty far away, which kind of invalidates Pokemon with really bad range if they also only hit the very square in front of it. But that's even if they are living Conkeldurr's monstrous attack. However, after using your move once or twice, Conkeldurr remains not the most useful for the rest of the battle. Leavanny, I believe Leavanny has X-Scissor. I haven't used Leavanny in a while, but I've played this game a lot, so I've used it. Leavanny is a very good Pokemon, but doesn't exactly stand out either. Whimsicott. Whimsicott's not got the best stats, but its move, Razor Leaf, I think? Or Magical Leaf or something like that. Yeah, I think it's Razor Leaf. It hits like 3 spots in front of it, and that's a pretty good range for Grass type. Whimsicott's got one of the better Grass type moves, however, it's got lower stats, which is why it's still in here. Beartick. Beartick's a powerful Pokemon with like Icicle Crash. Beartick's very strong, but not the best at like range into bulk or speed either. The Eevees, I put all of them here because I don't think they're as good as like other Pokemon of their type that would be up here. However, they're all very good Pokemon. I kind of ranked the Eevees based on how good I think they are, unlike the rest of the Pokemon in this tier. Because Psychic, I think, is the best move. Hydro Pump, along with Vaporeon's massive HP stat, make Vaporeon very good. Icy Wind on Glaceon, very good as well, particularly for the main story. Jolteon is used in the speedrun strat, however, I don't think Jolteon's the most useful in, say, the post-game. Flareon has got only like Fire Fang, but the Fire type's very good in the Pokemon Conquest game. Leafeon has Leaf Blade, but it's kind of a bit annoying to get, shall we say. Not really in the post-game, but the fact is that you'd probably have your Eevee evolved by then, because you wouldn't... I mean, it wouldn't be particularly hard to get, but there's no real point to get Leafeon when its move is Leaf Blade, which is resisted by all of the Pokemon in Nobunaga's kingdom, and Grass has got a ton of weaknesses as well. Leaf Blade's a very good move for a Grass type in this game, however, Leafeon's not that great. Umbreon has, like, Pursuit or something. I would highly recommend not using Umbreon. Umbreon's probably one of my favorite of the evolutions, and it's got a very good stats. However, just the move it has in this game is just so bad in comparison that I moved it down here. Staraptor would definitely also be in like probably A tier near the top of it. Not that this is ranked, but it has lower defense and can't move aside from more Brave Birds on the next turn. Brave Bird's powerful, but with that huge drawback, I can't really justify putting Staraptor above many of the Pokemon in this tier. Gallade is worse than Gardevoir and Alakazam for sure. Psycho Cut's not an incredible move, however, and Kenshin's Gallade tends to get replaced with Mewtwo if you're playing Completionist like I'm working on currently. I am near the end of there. I've got like 5 stories left to complete at the moment, and yeah, Gallade's pretty good, but it's not really outstanding. I can't really justify putting it above, say, Espeon or any of those Psychic types out there. These Pokemon are really difficult to rank. Emboar has Fire Blast, incredible move, and pretty much has the same stats as Darmanitan, except its range is 2 rather than 3, which is a huge difference. 3 versus 4 isn't the biggest difference, but 2 versus 3 is a ginormous difference, because 2 range is just so bad in this game. Bastiodon has incredible bulk, so it's very good for defending kingdoms. However, its move is very good as well. However, Bastiodon's got pretty bad attack and speed, which makes its moves a bit frustrating to use and deal with. Dusknoir's got pretty bad range and like either Shadow Ball or Hex. I don't remember which one for sure. But I don't really enjoy using Dusknoir in this game. Dusknoir is a great Pokemon, but it doesn't really. It's not really easy to rank. It's kind of hard to decide. So these Pokemon are kind of hard to decide. Are probably just below this tier. Very good stats and a very good ability, but I'm like 99% sure Audino's move is Pound. If I were to go on to Bulbapedia, that's not Bulbapedia. Okay, here we go. And if I were to search Audino, go down to side game data, Pokemon Conquest, very good HP, not great attack. Okay, the stats are a little bit worse than I thought. But with the abilities of Light Force, but yeah, it's got Pound. Light Force is it restores HP every turn, which is very good. Healer, I believe, status maybe? The Pokemon may heal an adjacent ally status elements. Yeah, that's very good as well. Medic restores HP to nearby allies. So Audino is a very good support Pokemon. However, it's it's pretty good in the early game. However, it kind of gets really overshadowed by other Pokemon later into the game, so Audino is very difficult to rank. Emolga has Volt Switch, which is a very good move, and Emolga is surprisingly powerful in this game, like similar to Carnivine. However, it's kind of hard to justify putting Emolga above a bunch of these Pokemon, but kind of hard to justify putting Emolga up with these Pokemon. Braviary would be probably an A tier if it had a move like Brave Bird. However, Skydrop is a 2-turn move, and you're kind of very vulnerable for the next turn. Skydrop is decent, because I once did a strat where every other turn, I would have my Braviary pick up my own, and also, Skydrop can't affect any Pokemon with Levitate that's a flying type. So, which is very bad for if you're wanting to replay through Masamune story after you've gotten your Braviary, because the only kingdom that's really easy to take from the start, because is Neen's kingdom. But if you've got Braviary, you can't even affect her Zubat, which is what it is in that story. But because Kenshin's story has Aya, which is kind of annoying for your Pokemon that you can get in there pretty early on. And then there's Yujiasu's rock types, there's Iaiasu's steel types, and then there's No's ghost types. No's ghost types probably not that bad, but a lot of them have Levitate as well, which just kind of makes them have the same deal as No. So Braviary is hard to rank. Now in this tier, C tier is probably the broadest tier, because it's kind of hard to say who's better than who and who's worse than who in this tier. Because you would think Charizard would be better in Charmeleon with Flamethrower versus Fire Fang. However, I'd rank them the same, because despite that Charizard can fly and has Flamethrower, Charizard's got a range of 2, which is very bad, and it heavily gets overshadowed by other fire types like Darmanitan, Emboar, Volcarona, Reshiram. Yeah, that really makes Charizard kind of not that good. Machop has Force Palm or something, or Low Kick or something, I don't know. I don't really remember. Cry Chop. I think it's... Wait, no, that's Machops. I don't remember. However, Machop is pretty good. It's got, Thrust as one of its abilities, which knocks back the opponents. Very good. Which is very good. Rhyhorn has, Bulldoze. Rhyhorn's not the best Pokemon by any means, but Bulldoze, lowers speed, I believe, which is comes in handy. Rhydon has Drill Run, but which kind of makes it basically a worse Excadrill. I suppose I should put Rhyperior by them then. Rockwrecker, similar to Dialga's Roar of Time, but Rhyperior, actually, I'm leaving Rhyperior in here, because I don't know why I put Dialga up here. I'm gonna move Dialga down to here, and leave Rhyperior in here, because Rockwrecker has the same kind of effect as Dialga's Roar of Time, And Rock is also a better offensive typing, being debatably the best offensive type because it's super effective on more things than Resist It. And Rhyperior's got very good stats, but the 2 range combined with it only being able to hit every other turn, I'm not sure if Dialga has 2 or 3 range, but I'm gonna put Rhyperior. I don't recall if Dialga has 2 or 3 range because I've been really frustrated with using Tedactyl after the first couple battles in the stories that I've been getting him. But I'm not justifying putting Rhyperior up with Dialga. Dratini and the other first stage Dragon types, like, let's see, Dino and Axew and Gibble. Dragon Rage, pretty good move, very good move in the early game. It's not bad, but in the later game, because it's consistent damage. But 40 is not the most powerful, so you can't really put him above here. Flaffy, Discharge hits every square around it, which makes it kind of impractical in smaller battlefields like Pugilist, unless you're like the only guy in there, because you'll be ending up hitting all your allies and then paralyzing them. Paralysis is good though for your opponents, and it's good if you're like the only guy in there and you're way stronger than them. But since it can also be, since ground's also immune to it, I can't put it. I don't feel like I should put it higher. Misdreavus has Astonish. I put Misdreavus up here because of the flinch RNG. Fortress absolutely sucks in this game, but it's got very good physical very good defense, so it's still up here. Sneasel, decent with Fang Attack, not pretty good range, pretty good ability options, but really bad defense, similar to Weavile and a slightly worse move. Pupitar has like Rock Slide, I believe. Very good move, but on a Pupitar it's not that great. Grovile's Leaf Blade, pretty good. Grovyle is decent. I believe Grovyle, Sceptile, and Trico can have Mountaineer, which is pretty good, but not very. I don't think it's definitely not worth putting up with these guys or these guys. Sceptile down here because of Leaf Storm lowers your attack every time you use it. Magoichi Sceptile is pretty useful because his warrior skill is very good. It raises his attack and accuracy a certain amount depending on how many female warriors on the battlefield. Yes, I know, it's kind of ridiculous. It's called Cupid. But it's pretty useful all the same. Next we have Leiron. Leiron hits with Iron Head, pretty good, but nothing outstanding, nothing really to talk about there. Anorith is Fury Cutter. Anorith is up here because Rock Bug is a pretty decent typing, and Fury Cutter doing more every time, along with Anorith resisting off early types like normal, and being neutral against fire despite being a bug type, puts it up here, I think. No, Anorith can go lower. Alright, so next we have Dusko. Dusko is up here because of the flinch RNG. Dusclops is up here because of interference and like Shadow Sneak, pretty good, but pretty bad range. Dusclops has got pretty good bulk, but Dusko evolves to Dusclops and Dusclops into Dusknoir. Well, no, Dusko evolves into Dusclops at a very frustrating late stage in the game, like it's well over 50% at perfect energy, I believe. Chimecho's got Psyshock, not a bad move, but Chimecho has never really stood out to me in this game. Because I've usually been able to have like Eevee and Jigglypuff take care of it, and in Valora. Persian has Slash, which has a high critical hit ratio, combined with Persian's speed and how it won't miss, pretty good. However, Persian is not the most outstanding Pokemon, and it's not like its Generation 1 crit mechanic, or Persian would just definitely be. If Conquest crits worked like in Generation 1, Persian would be up here. However, they do not. Celio, Ice Ball does more damage every time. Celio is a decent Pokemon. Not bad. Metane has like Metal Claw or something, I think. Maybe Iron Head. Not bad, but not great either. Monferno with Flame Wheel, pretty good. It has similar to like Darmaca's move and Larvesta's, but it's a bit better on Monferno because Monferno is a bit better of a Pokemon. Prinplup has Bubble Beam, pretty good move. However, not really worth justifying putting up there with like Empoleon. Bidoof has Headbutt, which has Flinch Cheese, but it is really bad aside from that. Luxio, same thing as Flaffy. Discharge hits all the space around it, but it also hits all the space around it, and still can paralyze your guys as well as the opponents. Shieldon's got very good defense, but very bad attacks. Similar to Bastiodon's, but Shieldon's definitely not as good as Bastiodon, so Shieldon's not here. Ironhead's also got a chance to flinch though. Drifloon, Astonish, chance to flinch, and it's fine. It also has like 4 range, which could put it in this tier, but this tier I put lower than this tier because it's got. But Drifloon also works for this strat too. Gil I talked about. Gabite has Dracon. Nobunaga's Gabite can hit twice because of his extremely overpowered and broken warrior skill that he has, even at rank 1. Snivy, Vine Whip, not bad. It hits a few spaces. What are Snivy? Actually, no. What are Snivy, Tepig, and Oshawott doing in that tier? Let's put them in not completely useless. And let's put the Pansage, Panpour, and Pansear in there too. Where's Panpour? There it is. Don't know why I put them in there. Pignite has like Heat Crash or something. Pretty good. I really would have preferred it if Emboar had Heat Crash and one in exchange for 1 higher range though, because Emboar would make better use of Heat Crash. Pignite could have like Flame Wheel or something then, which would probably make it a bit better. Or Flame Charge maybe. Flame Charge would definitely make it a bit higher up, but still in this tier. Duat has like Razor Shell or something. Razor Shell is pretty good. Duat's not bad, but not worth playing above these guys. Simisage has Leaf Storm. Simisage could debatably be put lower than this. Simisear, Incinerate? No, yes. It hits 3 ahead. Pretty good, but it's the Simisear. And Simipour also hits like 3 ahead with like Brine or whatever. Yeah. Blitzel, Spark. Blitzel's pretty good in this game, surprisingly. Substrika, Substrika has like Discharge. What does Substrika have? Okay, let's check this. Substrika. Inside game data. Substrika has, Discharge, and it has Lightning Rod and Motor Drive. Not the best for it, because it's not like your opponents are really going to be hitting with electric moves anyways. However, in Nobunaga's Kingdom, when the electric things are up, you can hit your own Substrika or Rhyperior or something like that, and you can get your attack or speed raised depending on which one you have. And it's a other ability, I believe it's a stack. I probably closed that down a bit too quickly, but that's also pretty solid. Boldore, Rockslide, good move, decent Pokemon. Girder has Wake Up Slap, which combined with Thrust, an ability it has, can knock the opponent back a significant amount. Lilligant has Peladance, I believe it's the only Pokemon in this game who has that. Very good Grass type move. However, I wish, but then it kind of traps you there for a few turns in this game, and instead of confusing you like it does after the few turns, although it would probably trap you here even if it did confuse you. So I suppose it's a bit better in this game than it would otherwise be if it went with all the in-game logic of how that move works. But Lilligant's a pretty good Pokemon. I'm really growing to like the Lilligant and Pelga line, but that doesn't influence my tier list at all. And I don't like the trap, how it gets trapped by using Peladance. Sandile, Mud Slap, lowers the accuracy, pretty good for cheese. And it has Moxie, not bad in the early game, but it's not like your Sandals are going to be getting all sorts of kills, and that's really going to help with the attack boost later in the game. Krokorok, on the other hand, has like Crunch or something. No, like Bite or Crunch or something. And then Crocodile has like Foul Play, maybe? Yeah, that sounds right, actually. I think Krokorok has Crunch and Crocodile has Foul Play. And Krokorok actually is at the point where it can start to be doing some work into battle, but not quite as much as Crocodile could do. I really wish Crocodile had like Earthquake or something. That would make it so good. And then Krokorok could have like, I don't know, Dig. Darmaca, Flame Wheel, not bad. Darmaca, pretty bad. But run-up ability combined with Flame Wheel, pretty good. And Darmaca is a bit better in this game than you would otherwise expect, because it's by far the best of the first stage fire types. And Darmaca is actually pretty good in this game, yeah. Chinchino, I believe it has Tail Slap, not bad, and Chinchino is not a bad Pokemon. If it has Skill Link in this game, Chinchino is probably a bit higher up in this tier, but this isn't ranked in order or anything. So Chinchino could be decent, but not incredible. Gotharia, not great, I believe it has Psyshock. It's alright. Gothitelle, debatably worse than Gotharia. It's a lot more powerful, but Future Sight's stronger, but you can't attack the same target with Future Sight multiple times in this game, which kind of makes it a bit of a redundant move and makes Gothitelle just completely useless in this battlefield. Gracia, a warrior who from Mitsuhide's kingdom, Nixstorm, has Gothitelle as her signature Pokemon once you get her with her perfect link, and Gothitelle is decent. It's a lot better than the Musharna that she normally would have. But if Gothitelle had like Psychic or something, Gothitelle would be way higher up on this tier list. Galvantula, pretty good, but again, Discharge, I'd say is a bit better than these two Discharge users. But it's still in this tier, I'd say. Lampent, Flameburst. Flameburst pretty good. And Lampent's not a bad Pokemon with not bad typing. Actually, I talked about Fraxure. What does it have? Dual Chop? Maybe. Fraxure is decent. It's very hard. It's none of the middle stage Dragon types are that good. Dino talked about. Zwelos definitely has like Crunch, I believe, and Zwelos is not terrible, but it's such a huge upgrade in relief when you get to Hydreigon. Larvesta is Flame Wheel, not bad in this game. Larvesta's decent, I guess, but once again, Larvesta, but like as well as it's such a huge upgrade when you get full Corona. Courier, Psyshock, not bad. Raichu, Volt Tackle. Volt Tackle is a pretty bad move in this game, and Raichu is not the greatest Pokemon anyways. Wigglytuff kinda sucks. I mean, Hyper Voice doesn't make its cage much better because you can also be hitting your own allies with that. And Noro isn't the greatest type in this game. Golbat, Poison Feign? Yeah, it's definitely Poison Feign. Golbat can fly, making it pretty useful. Poison's not the best offensive typing, because Grass type really sucks in this game. Fairy type wasn't introduced yet, so Poison is not that great, but it's pretty decent. It's still pretty decent. Crobat's still very good. Quagsire is Mud Bomb. Quagsire is not the greatest Pokemon. Quagsire is 4 times weak to Grass. Quagsire is probably the best Pokemon in this tier, because it's only got 1 weakness, even if it's 4 times weakness, because that 4 times weakness is also Grass type. Staravia has Wind Attack, not bad. Let's see. This is the Runaway Strategy, which is a strategy where if you're defending your kingdom, you can just run away because your Pokemon have 4 range, or an additional mechanic that allows you to escape easily. It allows, and like Abra and Ghastly have Levitate. Zubat and Starry are flying types. Eevee's only got 4 range, so Eevee's is probably the worst Pokemon in this tier for this strat, but you can also mix Drifloon into this tier if you wanted. Drifloon would probably be the best of these Pokemon for the Runaway strat, aside from debatably Abra. Abra would be the best if you can get your opponent down to 1 Pokemon, because if they ever get close to you, you can just teleport and hope you get away, assuming they actually manage to catch up to you. Zubat, Starly, Ghastly can kind of float over all sorts of building stuff and statues and stuff, and can have such a Spectra, which makes them very good. Runaway strat doesn't really work when you're having banners unless the opponent has less than 2 Pokemon and you can reclaim a banner in the time it takes them to claim one of yours. These Pokemon are not useless. They're like usable. Meowth, Fierce Twist is a decent move in this game. Meowth also increases your pay you get when you bring it to a mine, like the amount of coins you get. So Meowth's actually pretty decent. Charmander, Ember, Chance to Burn, I suppose. Machop has knockback. Ekans can poison you. Mareep has Thundershock with Poison Sting. Mareep has Thundershock and can paralyze. Larvitar has Rock Tomb, which can lower speed. Shriko has Absorb, which heals itself. Munchlax is really good HP for an early basic Pokemon, but its moves like Tackle. It's got the ability Lunchbox, which is pretty good. Aron has Metal Claw, which means Leiron must have Iron Head. Aron's pretty decent. Wait, no, it was Metane I was wondering about. Snorunt, Powder Snow, not bad. Not that bad, at least. Chimchar, Ember, Chance to Burn. Piplup, pretty decent early game. Shinx, Spark, better accuracy than like Thunder or something, and has Chance to Paralyze. What do you mean not completely useless Chain Link? Skorupi has like Poison Jab or something, which is pretty good for a basic Pokemon, and Skorupi's not a bad Pokemon. Same with Krogunk. Rock and Roll has Rock Blast, pretty good move in this game, I'd say. And Rock and Roll is decent. Drillbur has Dig, which can come in handy. Timber has Low Kick, which knocks Pokemon back, combined with pair that with Thrust. Swaloon has really bad range, which is why it's down here. But Razor is a pretty decent move. Venipede, chance to poison. Whirlipede is poison down, also pretty bad range, chance to poison. Petalil has like Absorb or something, I believe. Scrafty's down here with Hydro Kick. You saw how well that turned out in my Pokemon Conquest Valora episode. Pikachu, Thunderbolt. Thunderbolt's alright. Pikachu, you get Pikachu after you get your Pichu to like 50%. And by that point, like, what's the point? You can literally use any other electric type. And Raichu's still not good, so it's not like you're trying to get that unless you're trying to get everyone complete with Hanby. Aerith, Fury Cutter, not bad, because it does more damage over time. Snivy Vine Whip hits a few squares, not bad. Tepig, Ember, Burn. Oshawott, Wargun. The water types like Oshawott, Piplup, and Panpour can go into the water, which is pretty useful. The fire types can go into Magma, and poison types can go in. Poison and steel types can go into the poison. Pansear and what is Pansear? Flame Burst, better move than Incinerate, debatably. Same move as Lampent is pretty decent on Lampent, and it's not that much worse on Pansear. Pansear is the best of these three. Don't use Onyx. Onyx just absolutely sucks. Terrible range, terrible move. Jade Edge comes in handy, but after the first couple battles, you just don't want Onyx. Spheal can walk normally on the ice and in the water, but aside from that, there's literally nothing. Beldum has Takedown, which always does damage to itself. Munna has Hypnosis, so Munna, despite putting to sleep being kinda useful, pretty useful actually, can't actually do damage to your opponent, so that's wasting one slot of your 6 Pokemon, giving only 5 Pokemon that can actually do offensive damage. Musharna is debatably worse than Munna, because it can't attack if your opponent's not sleeping. I understand it has really good bulk and an ability that can turn opponents to sleep, however with the RNG involved and the just how it's not even the greatest Pokemon even when it can attack. Dream Eater restores your own HP a bit, which is kind of nice, but Musharna is kind of just more annoying to deal with. I suppose it could be a bit higher because it's with its purpose as a tank. However, without having an even decent move to deal with it, I'm going to put Musharna not completely useless, because with its tank and its chance to put a Pokemon to sleep, ability to heal, it's not that bad. Sual, Bug Bite has a chance to steal like a potion or something, same with Pineco, and Pineco also has Jade Edge. Aside from that, those Pokemon are completely useless. Cottonee has Absorb, heals you a bit, I guess. Also, Cottonee really absolutely is trash. Sorry, Cottonee, I like you as a Pokemon. I don't dislike any Pokemon, no matter what I say about, no matter how much I trash talk them here. Scraggy, Feint Attack. Dark Fighting is a pretty decent typing. It makes your story with your Shingen's story a lot easier in the post game, because Genshin and Psychic Attack can't affect Kunoichi Scraggy, but it's perfectly fine that you can also get her like a Weavile, which is her perfect Pokemon by that point, which is also immune to Psychic as well as hitting a lot harder. Let's see, Zoro, not bad, but not good. Minchino, it's decent, I guess. Double Slap or something. Gotharia is like probably the worst confusion. You know it's not Rollins exists. Joltik's Electro Ball comes in handy, and Joltik has pretty decent range, and decent abilities, but Galvantula is so much better, and Joltik's really much worse than these Pokemon. Lyric, pretty bad range. Ember, a decent move, and it can't float like a lot of our Ghost Stakes can, I don't think. Pichu has like Power Stone or something, not great. Pawniard, Assurance, not bad, but Pawniard's not good. Bisharp's pretty good. Rufflet, Wing Attack, it's pretty bad, but it doesn't get as crazy amount better when it reaches Braviary as you might hope. Actually, I'll move Rufflet up to here because it can float. Ralt's worst Psychic type without a doubt. Jigglypuff just absolutely sucks. Wait, Chain Link exists too. Well, if I drink these 3 Psychic types, I'm gonna go like this, because Chain Link, I believe, has like has Levitate. but Runaway also has a chance to dodge attacks. Not the worst. Giga sucks. Pichu, Thundershock. Pichu's really bad. Wooper, Water Gun. Wooper's not got the worst typing, but Wooper's just not great. Angry Buff is just so bad. Why would you leave it? Angry Buff. And Metagross can just splash, however, it can go into the water, so it's not completely useless, I guess. But with no offensive moves and terrible stats, I put it down there. So this has been my Pokemon Conquest tiers, guys. If you guys made it to this video, thank you guys so much for playing in this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. And I'll see you guys next time.